The campaign cycle proper is about to begin. The debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, the first of them, the CNN debate, is in 6 days. I'll be just back from New York City. Polling so far shows a lead for Trump, which I'm not surprised by. There's normally a bias against the incumbent when it comes to polling, but a bias for the incumbent when it comes to some other stuff. You know, polling created by the devil. As I've said, you shouldn't put too much stake in it. But at the moment, Trump is still slightly favored to win. Fox was showing Biden in the lead, lol. Well, presumably to gin up their base, right? Look, there's a very real possibility that the debates and subsequently the election don't go very well for us. You know, I know that the current state of affairs with the Democratic Party has made it very difficult to root for Biden in any capacity, but I'm not letting those bastards win. I'm not letting them rob me of a small joy, which is the desire to see Donald Trump lose. You know, I no matter how bad Biden has been on Palestine, I will not allow the Democrats to take from me my vindictive desire to see fascists lose the election. You know, I will, and in that capacity, I will root for Joe Biden. You know, I'm here for him in that respect. Yeah, exactly. Biden might not deserve to win, but Trump does in fact deserve to lose. And that's in this crazy world, sometimes that's all you can get. You know, that's all you can get. Now, as for the, thank you for the image, by the way. As for the debate, the most notable rule and one that favors Biden over Trump is the fact that microphones are muted unless it's the turn of the candidate. Since Donald Trump can't help but interrupt frequently, that probably means he's going to be speaking to a dead mic. Like, you're going to see a zoomed out shot of Biden speaking with the mic on, and Trump's going to be yapping silently into a dead mic. So I mean, that's funny. I like that. I do appreciate that. You know, thank you, CNN. No live audience, which is good. We like that. And the staff cannot speak with the candidates during those commercial breaks, meaning that the Trump and Biden are out there alone on the podium as soon as they get up there. No mid-debate adjustments, info, fact checks, corrections, or anything like that. They're both they're on an island up there, you know, on their own. Why? It's an authenticity thing, you know. I think that generally speaking, these rules benefit Biden. I think that in a debate, Biden is going to be kind of toasted anyway on account of the fact that he sounds and acts a hell of a lot older than Trump. Both of them are mentally cooked, but Biden sounds a lot more cooked, and it's a debate. Like, that's what matters. I'm not exactly excited about his chances in terms of the public perception. RFK did not make the cutoff, so RFK is not going to be there at the debate. Thank God, you know. If it could get any worse. If you could believe that. Sorry. So they're going to have their fun. You know, 81 years old, man. 81 years old. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. About 20% of voters say they have not picked a candidate in this year's presidential race. That's also crazy. Are leaning towards third-party options or might not vote at all during the November 5th election. Reuters interviewed 15 such voters ahead of the June 27th debate. Oh, sorry, I thought it was 26th. 27th debate in Atlanta to learn what they hope to see when Biden and Trump square off. This is also another advantage towards Joe Biden, that because it's held in Atlanta, there's a very real possibility that Biden and Trump might see black people on their way in and to the debate stage. And that might rattle Trump a little bit, you know. Personally, I think both of them have the potential to be rattled, you know. But whereas Trump hates Obama, Joe Biden was in his administration for 8 years. I feel like he's been, you know, he's a little more with it. Maybe it'll keep Trump off his A game. Who knows? I saw so much crime on my way here. Exactly. Mental fitness, especially Biden's, is a key issue for these undecided voters. Never forget what the Democrats took from you, folks. Never forget that it was heavily signaled. Cuckolds and bitches will claim that it was never officially stated by Biden himself. Nobody cares. It was widely assumed, discussed, and signaled by Biden's staff that he was going to be a one-term president on account of him being ancient. You know, like it's people are like, oh, well, it was never put into writing. You know, I'm not. No. It's obviously a massive, like, issue with electoral viability. A lot of people have very legitimate concerns about Biden's cognitive abilities. Obviously, Trump is cooked as well, but again, Biden appears older. There should be a younger person up there. Even Kamala Harris might be better. But where is Kamala Harris? Every time she's in front of the camera, she embarrasses herself. She's invisible, man. I feel like Kamala Harris has like less, she's less prominent than Joe Biden was as VP under Obama. She's less prominent than the First Lady was under Obama. You know, I feel like Kamala Harris is nowhere to be seen. Maybe that's for the best, considering how embarrassing she is whenever she ends up in front of a camera. It's crazy. Not gonna lie, I often forget we actually have a VP. Yeah, it's the facelift that's making Biden look so old. And the way he speaks, but yeah, I don't think that last facelift was to his benefit. You know, as was intended when the position was created. Yeah, well, glad to see it fulfill its function at least, I suppose. Michelle would have been a viable candidate. Probably. There were people who were very aggressive in pushing her as like a viable future candidate, you know? It ain't good, man. Has anyone seen... I saw it just before stream, you know. I think it's nice to see this position mainstreamed a bit, but John Oliver did a video on Project 2025, you know, this Trump's second term. It was a good video. I don't really know what's going to happen if Donald Trump wins. It's kind of difficult to say. I know it's a little bit naive of me to believe this, but I do think that there is a kind of spring back. It is possible that as bad as things have gotten and as bad as things might get in the future, I genuinely don't know if this country has the sauce for genuine fascism, you know? Because we see this failing over in Europe as well, don't we? Like, Viktor Orban is a fascist, and he has been enormously successful in molding the institutions of Hungary to his interests. But the population of Hungary has, I don't know, enough sauce in them that it feels like it's been a limiting factor in his reign. In Italy, Meloni's party and Meloni herself have both shifted to the left, or at least away from overt fascism, in response to I don't know, the AfD and a variety of other forces. In the UK, the Tories and the Labour Party are now basically, like, as far as I'm concerned, barely distinguishable. Le Pen has been moving more towards the, you know, left, at least in, like, name and word, not necessarily in deed. I feel like over here in America, people don't really have the sauce for the kind of, like, brown shirts running the streets, hide the gays in the basement nonsense the Nazis put up for, you know? I feel like if you talk to the median Republican, they're going to be like, yeah, I don't like the wokeness that's being pushed in our schools, but my gay cousin Andrew is all right. You know? You know, I don't like, I hate immigrants and I hate MS-13 coming up through the southern border, but Pedro, the guy at my workplace, like, he's cool. Yeah, you know, like, there's no issue with him. He's one of the good ones, you know? Maybe it's one of the long-term consequences of multiculturalism that it gets increasingly difficult to do genuine, like, real fascism and purges. You have more and more and more, like, social integration at every level that, like, even the avowed racists are still gooning to you know, interracial pornography, and they have Asian friends, and they like wear streetwear and listen to hip hop, and it's like, man, you know, you can't escape it, can you? There's no such thing as an all-white America. It didn't exist before, and it certainly doesn't exist now. It's not really possible. Just a little thing to be hopeful for. The worst Republicans are the ones who make it into office. Germany seems to be the only nation that has the sauce for overt fascism. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. The people who run the AfD might be Nazis, but then, like, the average person voting for the AfD, as far as I can tell, is like a moderately to severely racist Eastern German who's angry at West Germany for abandoning them after reunification. And it's like, that's not good. That's also not a Nazi, though. You know? Is what I mean. Like, I'm not saying there's not the potential for terror to grip the heart of this nation. I'm just saying that I feel like that it's a steeper hill to climb, you know? Vosh, you're absolutely wrong. No, I'm not going to debate it either. I don't give a shit what you believe, to be honest with you. I'm not debating the pessimism of my community. I say what I say. Nothing that I'm saying right now is like a fact carved in stone. I'm kind of giving my opinion on this. I do believe it, though. I do believe it, though. I think the Germans don't want to lose their kebab places. They know how much they have to lose. They know how much they have to lose. I don't think the situation is comparable to Patchfest, but, well, things have changed. The integration has increased substantially. You know? I don't know. I don't know. It's tough to dehumanize people in that same way, like in the internet, you know? In the era of the internet. I think even ultra-conservatives in this country be resistant to fascism. They support the fascists currently because they're being courted by them, but if the GOP extremists were to actually accomplish fascism, the state power would inevitably be wielded against them. Yeah, that's true. There's a pretty strong libertarian streak for American conservatives. Even American Nazis have a weird libertarian streak where they express their authoritarian tendencies through this, like, don't let the government control me sort of, you know, it's a land of contradictions. We'll see. The cons seem poised to win in North America. I mean, Mexico just elected a leftist president, like social democrat at least. Well, I don't believe that, Dr. Lead. I just don't think they have the sauce for it, man. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's a different world. I'm out at work in a southern state and have a good working relationship with a lot of conservatives who own guns and know I'm left-leaning. It's anecdotal, but I agree with your sentiment. Yeah, I really do. I really do believe it. I really do. It's, again, this isn't like me saying that deep down in the heart of every conservative, they're actually good people. I'm not saying that. I don't know that. I'm just saying, like I said before, what was the segment's name? Into the Mind of the Hog Voter, the Republican, the Trump, peering into the mind of the Trump supporter, the MAGA guy, whatever that segment was called. Like, it's a little bit more complicated than overt, uncritical, dogmatic hatred. You know, it is for some people. It is that simple for some people, but for a lot of people, it's not. Winklevoss twins donate $2 million in Bitcoin to support Trump. That's great. Biden allies raising $10 million to challenge Trump's social media machine. Trump has always been a better poster. Why can't Democrats run unironic troll farms? The game isn't even on both sides. They don't play the same game, you know? It doesn't really solve anything, hit him. Murderous authoritarianism takes root very quickly. The Iranian Revolution went from tear down the palace of the oppressor to mass executions very quickly. Yeah, but this isn't like post-Shah Iran, though, you know? The material conditions have changed. When was the last time there was like a massive pogrom or purge in a like Western democratic developed country? I'm asking sincerely, like, when was the last time something like that? When was the last time that a country in, like, the developed world, whatever that means to you, did, like, a systemic purge of political dissidence? Like a pogrom or Israel? Well, Israel's not a modern democratic country, so we're not doing that. Italy? Yeah, I'd have to think like the Myanmar. You think Myanmar is a modern democratic? Roll it back, roll it back. I'm thinking like 70s, 80s. You'd have to think of it like the things that immediately come to mind would be like the purging of leftists in like Latin American country. But even they were not like real developed. I'm trying to think. It's been a while, man. The world's a different place. Turkey does it all the time to the Kurds. Turkey ain't a modern democratic country, man. You know what I'm talking about. AIDS under Reagan. I think you could count that. Yeah, I think that there's some argument to that. It was deliberate, like, abstinence on the part of the state in order to facilitate the mass death of a sexual minority. I hope we're not due for a purge. I'm not saying we're due. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying the exact opposite. I'm saying that, like, the world has advanced to a point, at least our world, that it's not easy to get away with stuff like that. Yeah, we're so connected. We'll see, I guess.